Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Command List Practice Mode. So for those who are unfamiliar with Practice Mode, these are my solo episodes that I do. They're usually pretty short, 10 to 20 minutes, no longer than that, where I just talk about whatever I want really, what I've been doing, what I've been playing, that sort of thing. Also, while I remember Patreon, if you appreciate our episodes and you would like to contribute, it's just a donation, $1 a month recurring donation. Please go to Patreon and just search Command List. I'll post a link in the Discord again. You don't have to. It's just it just helps us cover the costs of the podcast hosting and that sort of thing. And hopefully one day we can go pro. So if those listening to the last episode, Chaotic Jim kind of tricked us, saying we're the sponsor and stuff like that because he's a cheeky bastard. But yeah, so I mean, one day hopefully this can be, more than just a hobby. But if it never becomes that, that's cool with me. I enjoy doing it, and I don't want to put a paywall up for anyone. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about Tekken 8. So if you're in the FGC, you like fighting games and you follow some of the fighting game creators and that sort of thing, there'd be no way you haven't heard about the latest season of Tekken 8 that's kind of fucked up basically the whole game. Now, people weren't super happy with the game to start with. It does very much seem like Tekken 8 is basically Tekken 4 2, right? So I haven't seen this much backlash to a Tekken game since Tekken 4. Right, and I quite like Tekken 4. Tekken 4 was went in a new direction. So it wasn't well received. Tekken 5 ended up, ironically being ended up being the return to form, as a lot of game journalist shills put in every game that has anything to do with a third-person open-world action RPG kind of game. But it literally was a return to form, Tekken 5. And let's hope they don't have to get to Tekken 9 to have their return to form for the series Tekken. As you may or may not be aware, I'm actually a massive Tekken fan. It's one of my favorite franchises, it's losing its spot as my favorite franchise, not just because of what's been going on recently, just been playing more, more things, like in different things, right? So I'm becoming a bigger fan of anime fighters like Under 19 Birth. I'm starting to appreciate Virtual Fighter again. There's a few reasons, but Tekken, for the most part, has been my favorite gaming franchise my whole life, right? So before I get into the weeds on Tekken 8, just give you a bit of a heads up. We're going to start doing more beat 'em ups on the show. I'm going to specifically start doing some beat 'em up reviews. I know I did the Punisher, and I snuck it in because it was part of the Marvel versus Capcom Fighting Collection, so I sort of snuck that in. But I'd like to do probably Scott Pilgrim versus the World will be next, and then Streets of Rage 4 or something like that. I might do that with Chaotic Jim. He loves that game as well. So you might be sneaking some games in from other genres, right? So just a heads up to expect that. Our next episode should be Under 19 Birth. We'll do both games. So we'll be doing 1 and 2 all in one go. Mostly because there's not a huge update from one to the other. It's just like an expansion, much like the updates that happened to the original game. So, and so that will be coming up, and then we'll try to do what will we do after that? I might keep that to ourselves. Also, don't really know yet. So I hope all of you are also getting some time off for Easter. I know people in North America don't get as many holidays as we do, but hopefully you do manage to get a few days off to spend time with your family or go somewhere or play more games or whatever. Both me and Kale Jim have time off. I will be going to a place called Pemberton tomorrow just for a night. So that's southwest of Western Australia, so that will be fun. We'll go with the missus and the little one. The other two kids are away, so it will just be us three. And that'll be a nice escape, right? Pemberton's quite beautiful. It's a a lot of old growth forest type stuff. And it's a little bit milder weather. But yeah, so that's nearly 4 hours from Perth by car. So, what else is going on? Oh yeah, my whole family's sick. They're getting better though. So before this trip, they should be good. But they're starting to come good. But I've managed to have some invincibility frames for a change. Normally I don't. Normally I get fucking everything that rips through the house. But I survived the gastro scare a few weeks ago, and now I've seemed to have dodged the flu as well, which is good. Right, so got some good invincibility frames at the moment. Touch wood. Fingers crossed. All the things that should ensure me against comeuppance by the universe for getting cocky, right? So now I'll stop getting sidetracked and get back into Tekken 8. Now, apparently, like I said, it's starting to look like Tekken 4 too, right? It's ironic that it's Tekken 8, that it could be that every 4 games Bandai Namco fucking shit the bed, but it apparently sucks. I haven't played Tekken 8 in a while. I 100%ed it. I played it heaps when it came out, but I haven't really revisited it. And some of the things I was a bit mixed on the heat mechanic, on the heat gimmick. One of the things that I've always appreciated about Tekken in the past is that it doesn't have a lot of that kind of gimmick, right? It is just straight up fighting. It doesn't have the rage arts and the rage mode when you're low on health. That was one thing. The rage art was a once-off. It was easy to do. It wasn't overly complicated. It was just basically a super combo. And the only character that is an exception to the regular mechanics was Akuma in Tekken 7, who had a super combo and EX moves and stuff, which, to be honest, made sense. He's Akuma. And you had to find a way to give him a raging demon as well. So the rage art is a raging demon. Makes sense. But I think they're getting a bit too carried away with offensive gimmicks, and not just offensive in that people are fucking offended by them, but like just too much attacking. They said that attacking would be the focus of Tekken 8. And they were clear about that in their marketing of the game. But it really has started to morph into something that's not like Tekken. So there's some broken characters. Broken characters can be fixed. There's a lot of loops, a lot of throw loops are sneaking into the game. A lot of busted chip damage shit with Anna and with Jack. There's actually saw a video of someone beating someone with Jack 8, just with their eyes shut, literally. That's how busted some of the shit is. But excuse me. But the thing is, they've fundamentally changed the way the game feels, right? Having good fundamentals and good defense used to really be a benefit in Tekken, right? So the defensive things they've fixed have kind of also fucked it up. So they said they were going to make more defense on this season and this patch, but they didn't. They actually did the opposite. They gave lots of extra moves, lots of ways to regain heat, there's a lot of characters that are completely fucked. And Tekken has survived busted characters before. In Tekken 4, Jin was busted, right? There's been high-tier characters in Tekken before. There's been janky shit in Tekken before. But it seems the whole roster now has become like this. There's chip damage for teching a throw, which, even though minor, has rubbed every Tekken fan the wrong way, right? When you tech a throw, there should be no damage. There simply shouldn't. If you've teched the throw, there should be a reward for good defense, right? Good fundamentals. The tracking seems to be now too precise, whereas, all right, the tracking of a move when you've sidestepped or you're out of position only needs to be so good. If you're out of position, you try to throw a move, you deserve to whiff sometimes. And they shouldn't make it too forgiving. It needs to be forgiving, but not that forgiving, right? Yeah. The Oki's, when you're getting up, punishing someone getting up has now changed, right? All you have to do is hold back and you'll just do a quick get up, right? There's no sort of nuance there anymore. So, like, this is where they tried to make defending easier. But part of Tekken is that how are they going to get up game? That chicken, like, are they going to get up quickly? Are they going to delay it? Are they going to do a low? Am I going to parry it? Are they going to, do a high? Am I going to just block? Am I going to punish them as they're getting up? Like, there's all this, like, there's stuff to do with the oki, which is just the slang for the get up. I think it comes from okazemi or from a Japanese word, right? So this sort of has changed a few things too. Again, a few people have pointed that out, but not many. That to me is a big change, right? As a person who's been playing Tekken since the beginning, that has always been an important part of the game, right? The wake up game, right? Teching throws has also been an important skill that I would not like to see punished in any way. If you tech a throw, you tech a throw, right? Nothing. You should still be able to get a perfect for the round for that. Just because seasoned Tekken players are used to doing it and they find it easy doesn't mean that you should punish it, right? It's really hard to see what these changes are actually for. I know they've tried to attract casuals to Tekken with the heat mode making moves easier to perform and less, like electrics with Kazuya, for example. That forward motion, people are they're trying to nerf that a bit. They're trying to homogenize a lot of the moves inputs between different characters. They're trying to add stances for all the different characters. I think they need to cool their jets a bit. They've gotten off track, much like I do on this podcast sometimes. But it doesn't feel like a Tekken game. Now, I don't think all hope is lost. Tekken has survived a lot of this shit before. Like I said, Tekken 4 was not well received at all, right? I loved it. Me and Coward Jim loved it, but we played it against each other, right? We didn't play tournament play. We didn't realize how busted Jin was. We didn't overanalyze the game in that way, and we weren't watching Evo or anything like that either. So, because we were a lot younger, but it's universally regarded as a bad, almost universally regarded as a bad Tekken game, and Tekken 5 very much returned to that sort of like Tekken Tag, Tekken 3 kind of feel, and I can see this happening here because we could still go back and play Tekken 7 or Tekken Tag 2 or whatever. The problem is I do actually think the netcode in Tekken 8 is quite good. So that's a sacrifice we'd have to make. That affects some people more than others. Like, for example, if you're far away, our internet connections here are very good, right? Where I am, I get fiber optic to the house. My connection speed is fast, even when I'm on Wi-Fi. But because we are so many hops away from the main server, we still have to deal with distance, and we still need to have rollback netcode for games to work well. Delay-based netcode is frustrating, and I haven't gone back and played Tekken 7. I have no idea if they've re-implemented rollback into it or if it's still got a good presence or whatever, but people will go back to the older Tekkens if they don't address this. They have said they're going to, but they also said that this season would be more defensive and they would fix the patches. And it seems to be the solution is not to nerf anyone and only to buff. And again, this game, where you look at Tekken 7 and you see some of the Akuma players who they could do this touch of death thing where if you fucked up, they had low health, they could do their rage art. He could kill off one combo. It feels like every character can do that now. From what I've seen on videos I've watched, it seems like every character has that kind of combo now. And it is extremely frustrating, especially to new characters, to sit there and watch your character die slowly by being juggled or slowly by like overpowered moves and a fucking heat gauge that won't seem to go down. Throw loops, all sorts of fucking busted janky shit. That yes, Tekken's a juggling game. But a lot of the people go, oh, Tekken is just once you are getting punished, you just wait your turn. Well, there is no wait your turn here. You just die, right? So that's what it seems like now. So it's gone a bit too far, and they need to wind it back. and make it a more conservative game. The heat gauge, in hindsight, I think is a mistake. I really think it is. I think it needs to go, right? They're not going to remove it, obviously, for this game, but I think in the next game, no heat gauge. Fuck it off. Even just think about fucking off the rage art too. Like, we don't need that stuff in Tekken. You got plenty of games out there with 5 different meters and all these different mechanics, and that's fine. But Tekken doesn't need to be like that. It's always been a more grounded, as they say, kind of game. And I think grounded is in, not in reality necessarily, but not projectile heavy, not gimmick heavy, not, cutscene fucking heavy when you do a move, like that you have to fucking, like you're watching a TV fucking show or an anime or whatever. I think they need to go back to basics sooner rather than later. And I don't see Tekken 8. I'm hopeful the series will learn from it. I am. I'm not a doomsdayer on it, but Tekken's never been a game for casuals, I don't think. You think Tekken 3, maybe, right? It was one of the most popular games on the PlayStation. It's right up there in that top 3. But as a series, as a franchise, Tekken is very legacy skill. It's kind of like, to me, I think it's like the Wimbledon or the, the Masters of fighting games. As much as I respect Street Fighter for its trailblazing, I think the pinnacle of fighting game skill is winning Tekken Evo, right? To me, that is the best fighting game player on the planet, the person who is the Tekken champ. That's just my opinion. Some people might disagree. But in order for the franchise to keep that prestige and reputation, it needs to go back to what made it great. And that's not trying to be like Street Fighter 6 or trying to be like another type of fighting game or trying to be, or make the sidestepping and all that so fucking easy that it's basically a 2D fighting game with dodges. Like, we don't want that in the game, right? You don't want fucking resource heavy gauges everywhere. And I think they've lent too far into that on this occasion, I think Harada he listens. He might be stoic and wear sunglasses all the time, but he does listen, I think. And he listened on Tekken 5. And I think he'll listen now. So I've got hope. Tekken has survived this kind of shit before, but although with the way the internet and social media is now, and the way the fighting game, like competitive scene is, it's getting blown up and a lot more attention, and people are going hard on the Steam reviews and things like that. So it's just getting a way more attention than when Tekken 40, because it can get more attention. So. But like I said, Harada, he does listen, I think. So there is hope, right? So don't give up on Tekken 8, but also don't hold your breath. It might be, we might need to wait a while for it to, or just go like these other games. Just go back to Tekken 7 or Tekken Tag 2 or 6, heaven forbid. There is ways to, much like no one really played MBCI, they just kept playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I mean, this can happen. So it's fine. And we do have a lot to look forward to in the 3D fighting space. We've got Virtua Fighter 6, or whatever it will be called, which doesn't have super meters and shit like that. So if you hate that kind of stuff and you don't want to understand and do resource management and you just want to go on your literal skill in actually doing moves and punishing and whiffs and stuff like that, Virtua Fighter is an amazing game. And, there is hope there. But if it's not your style, you don't like block buttons and stuff like that, and you're a long-time Tekken fan like me, just be patient is all I can say. And play Tekken 7 for a while. Yeah, so I don't really have much else to add. If you do have any comments, critiques, suggestions, write into commandlist@gmail.com. If you want to get into our Discord and talk about fighting games in there, again, just email. I'll provide you the link. For those who are in at Discord already, feel free to, chime in. I don't want our show to become a show where we read I don't want. I want to engage with the fans without making whole shows about engaging with the fans, if that makes sense, right? So, often, everyone wants to have a voice, and you don't want people to feel left out and that sort of thing. So I do appreciate, like I said, I want to hear your opinions and talk to you about fighting games in the Discord and stuff like that. And it will influence what we do. It does already. And I appreciate the support from everyone. And I did ask the Discord about the beat 'em up thing, and then some people said, "Oh, they are the same genre, so it's cool. You know who you are. Fucking, you deserve that fucking gif I sent you, right?" So, but anyway, both me and Carrie Jim, we appreciate the support and the feedback and that sort of thing. And if you could get on your various podcast apps and start giving us, 5 stars, if you think we deserve it, that would be much appreciated. We're trying really hard to grow this thing, and all that, any help, even if you don't want to contribute to the Patreon, that's fine. Share the link. Tell people about the podcast. Give us 5 stars on Spotify or Apple. This stuff means a lot to us too, right? So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough waffling and enough fucking banging on about Tekken 8 for now. We'll probably be back with Under Night and Birth. That will be the next episode, I'm assuming. And I hope you all have a really good Easter. You have a lot of fun, and make time for other things. But also, if you do have time for some games, I hope you enjoy them. So don't smash your controllers, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.
I'm done here.